"Ma'am, there's a young girl at the gate. She's freezing. She's only asking for an old blanket to keep warm." Elena didn't turn away from the window. "Bring her in. In this house, no one is left to shiver." Snow drifted against the glass. The air felt biting. Standing in the library was Elena Vance, 50, wealthy, influential, admired. Yet in that moment, she looked like a woman who had long stopped waiting for a sign. 2 decades ago, her husband vanished during a coastal storm, holding their toddler daughter in his arms. They disappeared into the mist. That was the day Elena realized that some voids can never be filled with gold. The child's name was Sarah. Elena searched every port, every town, every hospital. Every lead turned to dust, until even her heart learned to stay numb. Still, every night she whispered the same plea: "God, if my little girl is still out there, keep the wind away from her." That evening, 3 soft taps echoed against the heavy oak door. A groundskeeper hurried in. "Ma'am, there's a young girl outside, soaked, trembling from the frost. She says she only wants a blanket." Elena walked toward the foyer. Through the haze of the falling snow, a small figure stood shaking in the hallway. "Bring her closer. No one is turned away into the dark." The young woman stepped forward cautiously. Worn-out boots, tired eyes, exhaustion etched into her features. "What's your name, dear?" Elena asked. "Sarah," she whispered. "Sarah Miller." Elena's breath caught. That last name, it was the one her husband had used before they met. "And your father?" she asked, her voice barely a thread. The girl looked down at her feet. "He passed away when I was small. Before he left, he told me to keep moving. He said the stars would eventually lead me to a place of light." The words struck Elena like a physical blow. Tears pooled in her eyes, reflecting the dim glow of the fireplace. "You're home now," she said. "You'll never be cold again." The butler brought hot tea and a thick wool throw.
The girl held the cup tightly, as if afraid the warmth might be an illusion. And the longer Elena watched, the harder it became to deny. That curve of the smile, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when nervous, it was the same gesture Elena saw in the mirror every night. She turned and walked into her private vault, fingers trembling as she opened a small silver jewelry case. Inside, faded ribbons, a chipped ceramic bird, and a locket she had never found the strength to wear. She returned to the hall and showed the locket to the girl. Inside was a tiny painting of a woman standing by the sea. Sarah gasped, That's the lady from my dreams." The house went silent. The locket fell into Elena's palm. "My God," she breathed. "You are my Sarah." She reached out, her hands shaking with 20 years of grief. "Sarah, I'm your mother." The girl hesitated for a heartbeat, then collapsed into her embrace.
Elena held her with every bit of strength she had, as if letting go would make the world disappear again. "He watched over you," she sobbed. "He brought you home." Outside, the wind died down. A soft moonlight broke through the clouds and turned the snow-covered grounds to silver. The groundskeeper wiped his eyes. God never forgot a mother's cry. That night, the lights in the mansion stayed on until dawn. Music filled the rooms, and the woman who had lived in silence for 20 years spoke words of gratitude for the first time. Because the blanket that girl asked for became the bridge that crossed a lifetime of sorrow. Because some people you think are gone forever, the universe is simply protecting until you are ready to hold them again. If this story moved you, comment "Believe" and share it with someone to remind them that hope is never truly lost.